You're in the middle of a match. Everything is clicking. You're completely locked in. And then the living room light switches on. It's Friday night. Your mom and stepdad want to watch a movie. And just like that, you have to pack it all up. I wasn't angry at my parents. It was their living room after all. But there's a very specific low-level anxiety that comes with being an 18-year-old gamer in a shared house. You're constantly playing on borrowed time, always waiting for the moment you're politely asked to step aside so the adults can have their space. Up until that summer, my entire digital life was anchored to that one shared screen. I didn't have a TV or monitors in my room, and honestly, I was tired of playing on a timer. I didn't want to feel like an inconvenience to anyone. So, fresh out of high school, I did what every teenager craving a shred of autonomy does. I got my first job. I started trading my hours for minimum wage. It wasn't glamorous, and it certainly wasn't easy. Every single shift had a distinct purpose. I wasn't saving for a car, or college textbooks, or a summer trip with friends. As we talked about in my last video, if you want to learn how to rely entirely on yourself, you have to start somewhere. For me, I was saving for a very specific piece of plastic that promised absolute freedom. Up until that point, my bedroom wasn't really a hangout spot. It was just a place where the day ended. It had the bare essentials: a bed, a desk, a chair, and a laptop I used to scroll through the internet. There were no monitors, no consoles, no flashing LED lights. It was just a room. Until the day I walked through the front door carrying a massive box from Best Buy, paid for entirely by my own sweat. I was off work that day, and I remember the urgent excitement of getting it home while the sun was still up. I cleared off my desk, pushed the laptop aside, and set it down. Routing the HDMI cables behind the wood, plugging in the power strips, hooking up the console, it felt like a religious ritual. I wasn't just setting up electronics. I was rearranging the entire gravity of my room. For the first time, this space had an anchor. I spent the daylight hours unboxing it and getting it all perfect. But it wasn't until the sun finally went down that the reality of what I had done actually set in. Sitting in that desk chair, looking at a screen that belonged entirely to me, I felt an overwhelming weight of pride. I did this. I worked the shifts. I earned the money, and I built my own sanctuary. No one was going to walk in and tell me to shut it down. But then, during a quiet loading screen, the silence in my room deepened, and through the wood of my closed door, I could hear the faint, muffled audio of the living room TV. It was Friday night. My mom and stepdad were out there starting their movie night without me. It's a strange feeling, getting exactly what you spent years wishing for, only to realize it comes with a cost. I wanted to get out of their way so I wouldn't be a nuisance. But as I sat there in the glow of my new TV, a quiet wave of guilt hit me. I hadn't just solved the living room dilemma. Without realizing it, I had just taken my very first step out of the family unit. I had closed the door on my childhood. Looking back now, I see that slight wave of guilt for what it actually was: the growing pains of independence. That purchase set off a quiet domino effect. Over the next 2 years, that empty bedroom completely transformed. The laptop was replaced by a PC. The old furniture was swapped for a new desk and dresser. Every single piece bought with the hours of my own life. I was building a blueprint. I bought that TV at 18. By the time I turned 20, packed up everything in that room and moved out for good. We spend our entire childhoods trying to build a sanctuary where we can finally be left alone, without ever realizing that the moment we finally finish it is the exact moment we're ready to leave it behind. If you remember that first big thing you saved up to buy for your own room, the thing that officially made your space feel like yours, drop a comment and let me know what it was. If this story hit home for you, consider liking and subscribing. But until the next one, I'll catch you guys later.